Don't tell me how to live my life. Good.
When we do the laugh, okay. All right, hey, hi, hello, hi. Now I have to shift my chair, right? Hi, my name is William Tramp, also known as This F&G. I'm here, and I am the narrator for Basements and Besties, the Dark We are an actual play podcast, or not podcast, I always say podcast. We are an actual play game of Level Up A5E by Ian Publishing, and we are playing a fun game set in Eberron, the wonderful world of Eberron. I was going to give it a tagline. I didn't have one in here, so I'm not going to fake a tagline.
The wonderful city of Sharn.
Wonderful city of Sharn. Playing secret agents, doing cool stuff in the city. Now, before we jump into the game, let's go ahead. I believe we have some news to talk about, some upcoming events that we wanted to discuss. I believe you had something you had to give us.
Hi, everybody. So just a heads up, right now, pre-registration for NakaCon 2024 is currently closed. It'll be at the Overland Park Convention Center, May 24th through the 26th. That's Memorial Day weekend. But there will still be tickets available at the door. We are Kansas City's premier Japanese anime and cultural convention. So if you like anime, if you like Japanese stuff, you just want to have a good time in the afternoon, come see some cool cosplay. Come on over.
Heck yeah, I went there last year with the kids, and it was delightful.
Yes, and if you're not... Big arcade room.
Yeah, no, there's tons of video games to play. That's all JD wanted to do the entire time.
I know,
Was play the video games. I'm like, look at all this cool stuff. She's like, hey, I like Demon Slayer, and I like video games. I'm like, cool, done. All right.
That's like a third of her.
She was like, play Demon Slayer on a video game.
She did. She wasn't so into the cultural aspect. She was really into the Demon Slayer video game aspect.
I mean, that's about a third of our con-goers.
And Dennis, I believe you had something as well.
Yes. So, at this point, since we are recording in the future, we should have You Carry the Fire available to purchase if you did not do the Kickstarter.
So You Carry the Fire, what is that again?
That is a adventure that a group of friends and I created to work in the Shadowdark world and system. It's a 0 and first level adventure that we kickstarted this past summer.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. I have the PDF, but I'm really looking forward to getting that physical copy. So. And
it should be finally ready to release. And once it does, to our Kickstarter participants, we're going to make the link live. And if at this point it is, you can look down below, and the link will be available.
In the thing, not down below the table. We're never going to let you see below there.
None
of us are wearing pants.
Nope.
Sorry, I called us all out. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, and if it's out by then, we'll put in the link. If it's not, all right, well then come back in 2 weeks and we'll check then. All right, my news real quick. I will. Today's March 29th, and in about 3 weeks, I will be at a convention, the D8 Charity Summit Conventions, in Dixon, Illinois. I keep wanting to say Indiana. That's not what it is. My brain started screaming Erie, Indiana, that old TV show that nobody...
Yes, I remember that!
Yeah. Really? When the kids live in the Tupperware? I never stopped thinking about that.
My favorite was the Living Tornado.
Yeah, but the Tupperware one is where... I can't look at Tupperware the same at all. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that in Dixon, Illinois, I will be at the D8 Summit Charity. I've been invited as a special guest. I'll be running games and also just having a lot of fun. I really hope to see you there. I think by this point I'm hoping that tickets will be on sale. I've got mine. Hopefully some of you out there want to join a fun weekend of gaming on April 19th through 21st, or maybe you just really like giving money to charity and gaming is just kind of an extra thing that goes along with that. But either way, hope to see you there. Okay, that's the news. Let's go ahead and jump into the use.
That's not funny.
I quit.
Okay, so we like to begin all of our episodes with an introduction of ourselves, but through our characters. So today, we have an interesting question that I pulled off of a current Twitter trend. That's right, it's happening right now in February, but a month from now, everyone's going to be like, what are you talking about? Well, that's an old person thing. 2 months from now. Oh, gosh, it'll be 2 months from now. Anyway, the question for today is, your character, what are the 3 subjects the 3 subjects that your character could, at the drop of a hat, talk about for just 2 straight hours without even any preparation needed. All right? What are the 3 subjects your character could just talk about at the drop of a hat for 2 hours with no preparation needed? All right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start off with Dennis.
Hi, I'm Dennis. I play RJ, the Warforged Adept, who is exploring his place in humanity while being dedicated to the defense of Breland.
Yeah.
And the 3 things he could talk about. One is the ability to express emotions through art. The second is the immense amount of creativity in how people dress. And the third is the similarities between the released Warforged and the lower income typical species that are currently living in Sharn and the other larger cities.
What would you say on that? What would RJ say? Not you, but what would RJ say are the top 3 similarities between Warforged and the underprivileged of Sharn?
First, he would say that they are not given humanity as a trait. They are treated as things instead of people.
Now, remember the Dungeon Master's guy, or not the Dungeon Master's guy, the Monstrous Menagerie, right? Says goblinoids are humanoids, but that's not how people treat them in the world sometimes. Yeah.
Because once you start adding economics in, the lower economics, especially like in Sharn, goes into place, and whoever doesn't have money no longer is treated as human or as having humanity.
Second way that they're
Second way, they are, we'll say employed, but put it in very loose terms, to do unappreciated tasks. They're your street sweepers, your sewer cleaners, especially like the goblins and if we're going to say it, the goblins and the Warforged are down there. They're your heavy lifters.
Yeah, so you mean you're the labors that no one else wants to do, but then
Right.
complains when somebody takes them.
And lastly, nobody wants to hear them talk about this fact. Nobody wants to hear that the goblins aren't being treated right, or the Warforged are human, or are living and not just constructs.
That's awesome. I love that. Very much so. All right, we are going to go ahead, and I rolled a dice, so you get to go next. Sorry, we're keeping it random. We're going to go with you.
Hi, I'm Cassie. I play Adelaide Oleander, a human bard whose own story has stepped outside of her dragon-marked house. So 3 things that Adelaide could talk about for 2 hours at a drop of the hat. 1 would be music. 2 would be fashions along the continent, particularly in urban centers and sort of high fashion. And then the 3rd would be equestrian feats and activities, usually accompanied with stories about her first pony, and then also her favorite horse to use when she was in the Couriers Guild.
Of course, she's a horse girl.
Of course, she had a pony when she was a kid.
Okay. Pony.
What would you say is her favorite? Now, clearly, it's interesting that she'd be an equestrian, as she is a part of House Orion, but not a part of, say, House Vidalis. But also, it's horses, and they're fun. But I'm allergic to horses, so as a result, I don't want to talk about them. Instead, I'd like to talk about that. I'd like to talk about that fashions in the continent. What would you say? Where is her favorite fashion located? Like, what would you? Where do you think that she would like the fashions of the continent? Where would she be most interested in?
Prior to the day of mourning, I mean, I think the fashion she thought was the most interesting would have been Siren fashion.
Yeah, they were known for Siren for the fashion, yeah.
I think she doesn't prescribe to Ondarian fashion, even though they're sort of known as fashionistas, but her feelings of the Ondarians puts an icky taste in her mouth.
Also not a big fan of the whole like super like ruffles upon ruffles upon ruffles.
Yeah. So she anymore keeps more to like Braylish, like Sharn and Rote.
Okay. What's the current trend sweeping through Sharn right now for fashion?
I think in Sharn, a current thing is a lot of sort of lace.
Lace.
Oh.
Lace appliques, lace trims.
Lace.
So lots of lace.
Is there anything about Sharn lace that's different from, say, the Undarian lace trends?
Yeah, so I think while on Dare is...
I'm so excited about this question. No, I'm not smiling because this is not an evil smile. I love this. I love that you're answering
All
this.
your smiles are
Continue,
evil
please.
smiles,
I'm
so.
very happy with this.
So I think the Ondarian is very intricate, but it is so fragile that it's really impractical to wear very often, right? You have to be very precious with it. It's like very, very delicate. Versus while the Braelish is not as intricate, maybe, it does actually hold its wear and its shape better over time. It's more durable.
Yeah, and that's and in today's day and age, durability is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that answer so much. Okay, that didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable with how I was animated. I was getting like, yeah. I like this. I like getting specific. I love this. We are going to now move to 1, 2, you.
Hi, everybody. My name's Connor. I played Colton, a human warlock who made a deal with death, but he did not read the fine terms of that deal. 3 things Colton could talk about for hours. 1, stone masonry and how the masonry and architecture of Sharn have changed over the years. 2, how the wealth inequality of Sharn really causes some big disparity in the ideals of the normal Braelish people of the lower class celebrating quite a bit of freedoms. And 3, pulp literature, particularly his favorite set of novels based around the fictional character Castor Galloway.
Castor Galloway. We've heard a lot about Castor Galloway, and we've heard a bit about wealth disparities. We're going to talk about stone. I'm going to ask you about stonemasonry.
Yeah!
So the Dragonmarked House of Stonemasonry. There actually is a Dragonmarked House for that. It's there used to be House Fierlon, where with their different domains.
Domains.
Domain. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
Domains.
Yep.
Oh.
That's where the word domain comes from.
All right, why didn't they just say domain then? Thanks, Keith Baker. All right, well, they have different domains of art, because Faerun is all about really the art of illusion, using... they bear a dragon marked, like the Mark of Shadow, which lots of grant illusions, which they have turned into having kind of a stranglehold over artistic endeavors. We don't talk about Fierlon a lot, but one of their domains used to be the domain that basically covered like new architecture, right? The best architecture in the land, the best architects came from the Thorani line of House Fierlon. Now, there was the Shadow Schism a while ago in which House Thorani broke off and became the 13th Dragonmarked House. They're kind of like House Fierlon, but the rumors around them are a little bit more sinister. But they are the Dragonmarked House of architecture. So my question for you is, how does Colton feel about that? Because that's a big shakeup in the history of architecture, right? They broke off and became their own entity. How does Colton feel about that? Does he have an opinion about that?
Honestly, the fact that the Thorani broke off and became their own kind of house and, really specialize in architecture now, he thinks it'll breathe a fresh bit of life into the architectural design and variety of Sharn itself. It went through a big period where there was a lot of, almost brutalist was kind of coming into style.
Yeah.
But now with the Thorani, they kind of have a real artistic flair to it. You can go to the different districts of Sharn and you really can see a lot of differences in new architecture from newer buildings. They really start standing out from each other.
So basically, it's you're saying that with the tell me if I'm wrong here. When Thorani broke off from Fierlon, they lost effectively a governing entity that was holding them back from doing things. I love that. I love that so much. Oh, I'm writing all of these down. What a great question for me to get a bunch of stuff. We're gonna go ahead and move on to it's you.
Oh, yay! That's me. I am Sarah. I am playing Deidre, a human rogue who's trying to find her place in a world without war. And the 3 things that Dee would talk about is, 1, she would talk about how much she is interested in the Magpie, subscribing to what is called the Bird Watch. And it's a group of people that attempt to try to identify who the Magpie is. And the second one would be these trashy romance novels of this character falling simply Jarn, and he's like Fabio on these on the front of these pages are described as such, and he goes into the blasted lands of Seer to try to rescue women who have been kidnapped by villains and bring them back.
So this is a recent thing.
Oh yeah, no, this
Very
is like
recent.
they're using this like the Seer blasted lands.
Romanticizing the
Yeah, and basically like he's the knight going and saving
what's
them.
his name?
Jarn. Just Jarn. He has no last name.
Is Jarn short for anything, Sarah?
Jonathan!
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then all the hot goss about the houses, the dragon marked houses, and there's a little bit of a depressing thing. It's more of like she's trying to live out a fantasy of if her parents had not been from stupid houses, like different houses, maybe possibly she would be
Have a very different life and a pony of her own.
Yeah, a pony of her own.
I got a follow-up question.
Yeah.
The bird watch.
Yeah, the bird watch.
Okay, hold on. Tell me if I got this right. Much like you would go online now and you would see like forums of who do you think the murderer
Yes,
was,
it is.
but there is no internet in Eberron, so how do you communicate with one another?
So there is they have like these boards that have like lists and they're clues, like things that people have come up with as clues, and then they go and they submit it to like the bird watch, like they put it back on the board, and then someone compiles all the new clues that they have and hands it out almost like a leaflet of communicating.
In this Magpie-verse,
Yeah.
okay, are there other bird-like characters involved? Like the canary?
I mean, not the canary, but, like Robin. Yeah, there is. There's also the crane, who is this very sinister character that we actually believe is, at one point in time, like, controlling the magpie via, not ransom. What is that, where you hold
Blackmail?
someone's family? Blackmail, yes. And trying to get the more illicit things done. It was actually the crane, not Magpie's fault, because Magpie doesn't do anything illegal.
Of course not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the crane's fault.
Okay, I love that. I love that so much. And we're going to end with you.
Oh, I was hoping we'd do Cassie again.
And now we start the episode with the laugh.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's just me then. Hi, I'm Colin. I play Brock, the bugbear berserker who finds life a little bit dull without an explosion every now and then. Things that he could talk about for hours. Well, I feel like a gimme is explosives. And then he also likes to have a complete set of wrenches and like bits for every conceivable, nut, bolt, whatever you want. And then finally, he could tell you about each racer in the race of the 8 winds who has represented Malian's Gate since his birth and before. Yeah.
Let's talk about the race of the 8 winds for a second.
Sure.
What's your favorite?
Uh,
We're gonna imagine little Brock, and there's a poster on his wall.
So
Who's on
the
that
answer might surprise you. His favorite was Yeezus the Brave, a kobold who rode a Spire Drake 11 years ago. Didn't have the advantage of speed, but his mount was so small it could find ways to maneuver through the buildings that the other racers couldn't. Tragically died. But he had spirit. Well, when you're in a race where the riders are riding large, dangerous flying creatures, some of those creatures are carnivorous.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
So now that I'm mistaken, Yeezus the Brave, Yeezus the Brave was replaced by a gargoyle.
Yes.
In fact, who just has no mount, and in fact just races.
He just races by himself.
How does Brock feel about that?
He feels like it kind of goes against the spirit of the race, but the gargoyle's also been winning, so
Results. Well, winning is. I do want to give a point of clarification. This isn't to deny what you said, but it's interesting that you say winning.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, the gargoyle has not won like first place.
But he's been on the podium a couple of times.
I believe the gargoyle is known primarily for attacking the ever-living shit out of everybody else.
So winning.
Okay, and with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into today's episode. We're skipping the recap because we want more game time. So, you find yourselves in an arena within the Dask stronghold, deep beneath the city of Sharn, in a hidden district by the name of Kyber's Gate. In this arena, you are in a circular arena. You are on raised stone benches that sort of overlook a circular fighting pit. You're about 10 feet. The edge of the benches is about 10 feet above the floor of that. On the opposite side, and by the way, your benches kind of take over like the northwest to west portion of the circle, okay, right? And on the opposite end, southeast, or on the opposite end, northeast. I'm sorry, no, west.
Southeast.
Oh my gosh, west. You're on the northwest. They're on the southeast. Oh my gosh. On the southeast side, there's a raised podium about 5 feet above the floor, and you see, and on that podium is or on that stage is a great stone chair, and seated, or standing to the left of that chair, is a figure that you have seen before, a male Medusa, a Mandusa, perhaps. We're not going to use that. That's not a thing. Who you have seen before, by the name of Harash. Harash stands there, announcing the beginnings of the games that are about to step before you. Seated on the throne itself is a terrible figure. She is large, very large, easily would still be over any one of your heights while seated. She has great horns coming, kind of emitting from her brow. Her eyes kind of blaze like a fiery glow, and her skin is is like this deep red, but it's cracked, and in the cracks you can see beneath kind of some light almost pulsating there, and. Her long black hair sort of just kind of spills down her shoulders as she leans forward in the chair with a malevolent glee, waiting for the fighters to be introduced. The crowd, on the other hand, which you are surrounded by, people, goblins, goblinoids.com, hobgoblins, goblins. You see a number of kobolds are there, some bugbears. There's probably about 60 or so other people in this crowd. I think I may have said hundreds before. I meant 60. This is not a big arena. This is a smaller, relatively smaller arena, but still a decent-sized crowd. You see two goblins are moving about the crowd, offering up goodies such as cheap beer and fried rat intestine on a stick. Delightful treats for the crowd at very reasonable prices. You also note that there are a few people kind of watching the crowd a little bit more than they're watching the events. These are probably guards of some sort, kobolds and goblins. Okay, now with that stated, the games have been announced, and Harash the Mandusa, again, stop saying that well, announces the first fight to begin. You can hear the sound of iron scraping against metal, like a portcullis being raised, perhaps an older portcullis. New ones have that real there's no scraping sounds with the new one. This is an old one. Why am I focusing on that detail so much?
Because it's important.
And you see another massive figure, probably anywhere from 9 to 10 feet tall. If you counted the horns emanating from his brow, you would say he probably reached a height of 11 feet. As a massive man or bull, it's hard to tell which. Seems to be a hybrid of the two. Walks out with a handful of chains gripped in his clawed, furry hand, and as this massive minotaur kind of steps out into the ring, you see the chains are dragging people behind him, and you see a couple of figures being drug out My apologies. Of all the things I could have had ready, it's this part. You see a what appears to be a woman with dark hair, almond-shaped eyes, and dark hair, almond-shaped eyes, as well as a hulking half ogre, an ogrekin, male, being drug out by chains. The Minotaur forces each one to stand a bit apart, and then walks over and removes the shackles from their wrists, and leaves the chains there in the dust and the sand. The Minotaur then approaches the stage and kneels down in front of Kabbalah, leader of Dask, and introduces the two. We have Graz, and as he says Graz, the crowd starts to go wild as the ogrekin sort of looks at the crowd and kind of just plays him a bit like, "Roar, roar!" And the crowd goes nuts for a second. Clearly, a lot of the people in the crowd seem to be real excited about this one. And then he turns and says, "Zai Shung." And the woman turns to the crowd and addresses them with somewhat of a flourish, actually. You can see that the look in her eyes does not seem to match the level of fun she presents. That's a little tangent, but she flourishes to the crowd and gives a very well practiced bow. And as she does so, you note that she grabs a handful of sand as she does so. And the Minotaur turns back to Kabbalah and says, "For your pleasure," and will then step off to the side, step up onto the stage, and take his place on the right-hand side. Kabbalah, for her part, thanks the Minotaur, who she names Amerigo.
There he is.
And
We know that name.
would these help you, by the way? Having some of these?
Sure.
Okay. Here, have some of these. And some more. Okay, so as the fight begins, the crowd begins to go nuts, giving you all a chance to speak, if you wish to. What are you doing?
All right. We need to figure out what the layout of this place is like.
Yeah.
We need to figure out what the layout of this place is like.
Yeah, I can go off with him.
Yeah, we can probably go find some good layout, maybe look for entrances and exits, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Now, to point out, there are 3 exits that you can immediately see from this arena. 2 are along the north. You came in through one of them. Okay, 2 on the north wall.
Okay.
Both of which lead up to the space you are in. And now, there's also one to the south, also that lead to the benches. You did see a couple of people filtering in through there as well, though the 2 entrances to the north, came from the same direction that you guys came from. You did not see any. There was no further entrances that you saw leading to the south, but you do see that there is an entrance to the south. You do not see any other entrances or exits to this room.
Now, remind me, on our way in, when we were being led in, did we notice, other than that side passageway with the undead eye creature, were there any other side paths that we passed that we might have not noticed?
No.
Okay.
There's none that there are none that you remember seeing.
Noted.
So, probably ought to get a good idea of who would probably want to stop us if we did anything suspicious. Guards, muscle, that kind of thing. Look for maybe somebody we can use to get a friendly rapport with the guy walking the door. Good place to start.
There are a lot of questions to This is the voice I'm using for this character.
I like it.
Yeah, this is my mercenary. There are a lot of questions. Some of them might be best. I might be best staying here and keeping my eyes out here and talking to, like, the workers to see how regularly do these occur.
Okay.
You can probably walk around the easiest without getting caught.
Okay, so if I'm doing that, what am I hoping to find out? Because if you two are scouting the layout,
See if you can find out how long the games last. How long do these generally go? Is this like an
We
afternoon?
can do that here, though.
We can do that here? That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, what you can do is you can try to figure out who's in here. Like, maybe you can see if the fighters actually are supposed to be here. Maybe they can help us if we get in a pinch. Because they seem to be drug out in chains that don't seem like friendliness.
We don't know how big this layout is. It might be that while you're scouting one area, you may be able to look in another.
The crowd erupts into cheer, by the way, as the woman Gia scores a blow or scores a blow by throwing sand into the eyes of the ogrekin, and then uses that to smash his nose in with her forehead. He reels back, and the crowd goes nuts.
Heck, you could even... Not that I wish to act like a basic golem, but you could take me as your assistant golem. Or even try to take me as, like I said, as your assistant as you're going around.
okay.
Would you feel comfortable being here by yourself, Adelaide?
Or would you rather me stay with you?
I wonder if that might be better.
I would rather somebody be with me.
I'll stay with you then.
Okay.
Okay, so it sounds like the two of you are going to stay here and try to gather information. You're going to go out into the halls and try to use your bugbearness to infiltrate.
One of my many qualities.
Yeah, one of your main qualities. And it sounds like the two of you are going to be... so, like, the two of you will stay here and maybe speak with the crowd. Perhaps you will be probably speaking with people who maybe work here outside of the halls, and you two are going to be trying to use your stealth capabilities to infiltrate. Okay. That sounds like a great plan to me. So, the last question I have is, how are you getting out of here? Which direction are you taking?
I mean,
People seem to be walking up and leaving, going to use the restroom and such.
Because I'm looking at this like an arena, so I'm assuming we have to go back out the way we came to the closest exit and then walk around to the other exits. Or are there hallways for us to like walk down and then walk around?
You could there's space at the very top on a circle to access all three of the exits.
Okay.
So as the three exits that you could reach easily would be the two to the north, one of which. If we have northeast and northwest, you came through northwest. But there's northeast. So there's northeast, and then there's also south.
And then the southeast is where their platform is.
Yes. So southwest is so the southern exit. Okay. So speaking of the exits, which exit are you taking?
Which one do most of the people filtering out seem to be going through?
Those who are filtering out seem to be going to the south.
Okay, then that's the direction I'll go.
Most people who are filtering in seem to be coming through the north, but some filtering through the south as well. Yep. Are you guys heading south as well, or heading a different direction?
We'll head up to the north, a different exit. The second northern exit we didn't go through.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, and then you two are going to stay in the crowd. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the two in the crowd here. So you are starting with a number of people who are watching the party go. You know, sitting next to you, there's a goblin who's just like going at just rat entrails on a stick. Smoked rat entrails on a stick, and just having a good time. You can see all kinds of colorful characters here, but also a few guards kind of standing at attention to sort of keep an eye on the crowd itself. What do you do?
I seem to recall last time there were some kobolds that were like doing the bet taking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can we flag one of them down?
Sure, sounds good. And one of them comes up to you. Oh, you're looking to place a bet. You're looking to place a bet. How much you willing to put down? Maximum bid of 10 gold.
Can I?
Fair.
Can I put the gold on Gia?
She's a good one. She's feisty. She's from Seer.
Ah, I see.
She fights. He kind of puts his foot up on the bench. She fights for the people of her homeland.
Ah, interesting.
Whereas Gauls fights for glory of his homeland.
This is actually our first time here. I wish I would have brought more. We have sort of itchy fingers when it comes to gambling.
That's okay. We have them all the time.
When's the next one?
Next one? We have them every 3 days. Every 3 days.
We'll make sure that we bring
More
more
next time.
Yes.
Although, rumor has and and forgive me, you're dressed up as a mercenary, correct?
Yeah.
What race?
A
Or
human
ancestry?
woman.
Okay, yeah. Human. Well, also I know that it can be hard for folks of your type to get down here. Well, let me say the lady knows. She knows, and she's there's rumors that she's going to be bringing the fights to you.
Oh, really? Above?
Oh, yeah. Looking to branch out, expand, traveling fights.
Is she looking for some of the newer breeds to join?
Oh, you haven't been here before, have you?
No.
Oh, they're always looking for the newer breeds to join. Watch long enough and they'll ask for someone. From the crowd, if you're lucky and you look strong, I bet you could do well too. Although, could you do well as Graz, who fights for glory of his homeland, or Zia, who also fights for the glory of her homeland? I don't know. But perhaps, do you fight for glory for your homeland?
Yes.
Oh, that story's overplayed.
You said they're looking to expand up above. Where?
One of the, Memphis? Lower Memphis? Somewhere, I don't know. Well, a bit above my head. I work here. Bets. Who do you want to put money on?
Yeah,
How much you want to put on?
a gold.
Oh, sounds good. That's a good bet to put on. If you lose a gold. If you win, 5 times the amount.
Oh, those are good odds.
That's not bad.
Yeah, right? Because,
What is-
honestly, if this was a fight to the death, this one's not. Last one is. Well, she'd definitely be killed. In my opinion, I got all my money on him.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how?
She looked like she
Explain how these go. Is it like a tournament bracket, or is it?
There's always
separately
a couple of 2 fights happening, like 1-on-1, right, and then a couple of those, maybe like 2 to 4 of them, right, a couple. That's a couple, right? Yeah, 2 to 4. That's a couple of a couple, and then there's a break, and then we all head to the break room, and then we come back and to the assembly hall, so that way Kabbalah can talk to all of us and explain to you all the glories of her operation here, and then we come back, and then there's the big event, right? There's the big event, 3-on-3. That's bracket style, right? There's 3-on-3, and then there's another 3-on-3, and the winners from those come up for the 3-on-3 final battle to the death.
And what do the winners get?
To live.
Are they all volunteer?
Sure. Okay. Weird question. What do you care? Anyway, all right. So, any bets you want to place?
I'm gonna save it for the next fight.
Sounds good. All right.
I want to see what we have coming up.
Oh, it's a good one. I love it. Goodbye. And we'll head off. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move over to Brock first. Or
Okay.
we're actually hold on. No. Yeah, we're gonna move to Brock.
Okay.
Because Brock, you're heading to the south.
Yeah.
There's a staircase leading up and out, right? Of this area. I want you to give me a perception check as you're leaving this space.
Is this an audible phenomenon?
It is not. It's
Cool.
a visual phenomenon.
10.
Okay. So as you walk out of space, there's a curving staircase, kind of curves from south to the west, and you enter at a door, and you see another person walking down, like quickly coming from the bathroom. I missed the first fight! As a goblin pushes past you, and just walks through the door. And beyond that door, there is a curved hallway, a wide, probably about 15 feet wide.
Okay.
Probably about the ceiling's about 20 foot vaulted. It looks old, very old. Old stone buttresses holding it up. There's and there are these columns in the middle, right? Now, directly across from you, you can see that there's a door. Okay. Between two columns, and there's a door in the wall, and then it kind of curves away from you on both sides. So to the left, and it curves to the right. To the left, you can see that the semicircle sort of ends within their hall that they're kind of ends, but there's something kind of like tucked back in this direction.
Okay.
So if you were to follow the wall, tucked back. If you go to the right, you can see that it curves around, but you can't quite see the end of it.
Okay, so just make sure I'm visualizing this right. It's like from the exit from the arena, there's a short hallway that then splits into a sort of semicircular hallway.
Yeah, enters into, so like imagine a semicircular hallway, right?
Yeah.
Or sorry, a semicircular hallway, and you just entered into it.
Okay.
Okay, entered into it. Now hold on. My apologies. I had the wrong page pulled up. Yeah, it's kind of like a promenade, right?
Okay,
Kind of a promenade. You can see that the pillars are carved with eyes that seem to follow the curvature of the hall. And as you sort of move into the space, it seems like the eyes are watching you. But it seems like the eyes are watching. But as you kind of take a kind of like stop and look for something, you realize it's just kind of an optical illusion. It's just the way that it's built here. Okay, where do you wish to go? So door on the opposite side, curve.
Yes. First, I would like to be stumbling a tiny little bit, like I've had a little bit too much to drink early, like too early in the match.
Sure.
You said the hallway ends to the left. I guess I will curve around to the right if that's the. Is this the direction that people seem to be going, or
Hall seem to be empty now.
Oh, okay.
Because people are rushing back in to get back because the games have just begun.
Okay. I will follow the curve around to the right then.
Okay, sounds good. So you move around to the right, and probably about 90 degrees of the circle, or it ends. Okay. Now along the north wall, right? Because you coming in from the east, and now you're moving kind of northwest. Once it's about the northern zenith of the circle, it immediately stops off. What you see here is. Straight to the north, there's a pair of double doors, stone, okay, carved with similar eye motifs.
Okay.
Okay. Directly across, though, like along the western wall, where the circle cuts off, right? You see a large kind of bas relief there.
Okay.
It is a fresco. I'm sorry, of a leafless tree. With lidless eyes embedded in each of the branches.
Spooky. I guess I will approach the set of double doors.
Sure.
And
I should also mention that the hall is lit by these sconces of purples, blues, and green flames.
Okay.
So you approach the double doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will, I guess, take a quick listen at them, see if I hear anything that... Or I guess these are probably pretty thick double doors.
Stone.
Okay. Screw it. I'm going to try to push open one of them.
Okay. So imagine that, by the way, this door is, the door itself, and there are doorknobs.
Okay.
8-foot high semicircles. Each door is a semicircle forming one large circle.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you're going to open one of the doors.
Yes.
Okay. Sure. So you go ahead and open the door, and you push it open. It swings open, revealing another hall. I need a perception check.
Okay. 6.
You see another lit hall extended out before you. This one is straight ahead. You can see that it's also lit up. The hall was probably a good, I would say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Oh, that hall that I said mentioned before, the promenade, it's not 15 feet wide, it's 30 feet wide. It's
wow.
A lot of space.
Huge.
Yeah. Right. This is about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, about 80-foot long hall. Magical lit. And you can see on the farther end, towards the north, along the eastern wall, up towards the northern end of this hall, you see that there appear to be two exits from this wider hall. This wider hall is about 30 feet wide. But you see two alcoves that potential exits there.
Cool. I guess I will start making my way. So I'm basically at the southern end of this like 80-foot long hallway, and down at the end of it are those two doors. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I'll start heading down the hallway.
As you start to head down the hallway, you hear the sound of footsteps approaching from the north.
Can I discern the source of them?
You look to and you see a figure starting to step out of the first of the doorways.
Okay.
But we'll go ahead and pause on you for a second. We're going to head over to you two. So you guys are heading out at the northern wall. So you find yourself. So you head out one of the northern exits, the one to the northeast. You kind of make your way past some of the members of the crowd. I need you both to give me a perception check, please.
Sure.
10.
13.
Okay. So you head into the hall. It's this hall, even though it's kind of on the northern side of the circular arena, it kind of heads due east. So imagine at the top of the circle, it's like heads due east, and you can see that there's a staircase leading up to a little landing, and then the staircase curves up, heading back towards the north. Now, as you head up on the landing, you see a suit of armor with the symbol of Dask is kind of set into an alcove, kind of overlooking this little landing here. You see him, embossed on his breastplate is the symbol of Dask. It appears it's very ornate, and it's set up on display. The armor, suit of armor set up on display. Okay, and then stairs curving away from the landing, curving up to the north.
What'd you think?
There's nobody else in this hall at this point in time.
Okay.
Well, but we need to move stealthily from here on out. So.
All right. Well, if it's all right with you, I'm going to go ahead and do my thing. You want to just do your own natural sneaky thing?
Yeah, we can do that.
So no one, as far as we can see, that is currently like looking at us.
No, but you did see a lot of people coming in through here. So at any moment, somebody could.
This moment, invisibility.
Invisibility, excellent.
And we're proceeding up the stairs, correct?
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. So you move past the suit of armor, head up the stairs to the north, and you find yourself in that entrance hall where you first entered that runs east to west. To the east, you see a kobold sitting up on a keg, kind of just idly thumbing through a ratty old book, as he's the one who is taking people's money as they were coming in. And then to your right, to the left, you see the 10-foot wide hallway extends down. It's all lit up down towards where you know to be the doorway to the other exit or other entrance into the auditorium, as well as the northern hall that leads to where you saw the eye beasts.
I would like to go to the eye beast.
I'll be right there with her. Yeah.
And we're gonna, and as soon as we're out of sight of anybody, I would like to make sure we're moving stealthily, silently.
Do you want me to come with you to the eye beast, or do you want to split up?
No, we need to stay together.
Okay, cool. Yep, let's head toward the eye beast.
Okay, so what you're going to do here is you're going to go in, and so you're trying not to gather the attention of the kobold. Okay, so I need a stealth check from the two of you.
19.
I would like a reroll, please.
Oh, excuse me, dirty 20.
That's way better. 18 plus 2, 20, plus 3, 25.
25. Okay, wonderful. So you head up. You're able to get past the kobold with no issue. He does not seem no issue. He's thumbing through his novel. As you turn the corner, you find yourself standing back in that room. The hallway leads to the north, and then the room opens up to move towards the west. So it's a 15-foot wide, but lengthwise about 50 feet long room. You see 5 figures sort of floating in midair within this room. The one in the middle is that undead beholder that you'd seen before. That eye beast of the where its skin is like slogging off and like tattered, and it's sort of it hangs there silently. You're right now have not turned into the room yet, but you kind of peek in, and this is and you see them there.
Okay.
And then 4 similar creatures, but not quite the same, sort of float around it in the middle of this room. The beast's multiple eyes, which are set on stalks on the top of its floating head. Its entire body is basically a floating head. Each eye stalk on the 8 stalks on its head, its eyes are kind of pointing in all different directions.
In this, are we able to also see any other exits or entrances for this room, doorways from where we are?
You can see on the opposite end of the room, on the far west wall, so about 50 feet from where you are now, you see that there is a door, single stone door, circular, leading out of this room. And you looking through there, you see that this room is, for the most part, featureless, other than the torches of blues, greens, and purples on the wall, and these 5 beasts that sort of hang in the middle of the room. And
I don't quite know exactly what that thing is, but I'm really worried that I might be able to see through my invisibility. And it's a giant floating eye with extra eyes. How do you think we should get through that?
well, the thing is, and I do want to point this out, there's nothing, while you are invisible, you aren't.
Yeah, I'm not.
And if the creature's looking all over the room, there's nothing to hide behind. So that's the one.
That was my next question. Is there anything that I could hide behind?
Nope. Featureless room other than these creatures. We're going to go ahead, and as you guys discuss how you want to proceed, we're going to move back to you two here. So you two are in the crowd watching the fight. You can see that that at this point, hold on here. At this point, the fight is not going very well for Jia Shan. Okay.
Looking around near us, does anybody look like a super fan? Like, if you went to a WWE and like the other one that would have like the sign and like the shirt and the foam finger like full out.
Yeah, there are a fair amount of people who seem to be really into this. Sure.
Is there a semi-younger one looking?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm hesitant, how many more conditions are going to add it?
Because they're the most enthusiastic usually. So that's why I'm looking for. So I'm
There's a young bugbear, awkward-looking, teenage-looking kid.
That's what I wanted. Thank you.
Who's wearing a painted all blue.
There we go. Thank you. I kind of moved down and I sit next to him like, this is crazy.
Oh yeah! Wow! This is great!
Is this your first time?
This is not my first time, man! Oh man, I come here all the time!
Awesome.
We're gonna get away from home. Mom and Dad are real sticklers about me coming down with the wrong element, they say. But I don't know. This is pretty cool.
It's my first time, and I just want to make sure I don't make the wrong decisions. What can you tell me about the fighters today?
Well, tons of good fighters. Well, I don't know who's gonna be here today, but I'm really hoping. I got my favorite, obviously. As he kind of puffs out his chest there, his bare, awkward teenage chest. Why am I shaming a poor teenage kids in this? I'm just being a real jerk to this teenage kid, right?
Teenagers watch our show, Will.
Do they?
I assume.
Do they? Do they really?
Teenagers, leave a like and leave a comment.
You see that there is a bird painted on his chest, a black bird, blue body.
So his fur is probably all matted from
Yeah.
paint.
There's not very much fur on his chest because he's a teenage boy.
Oh, okay.
Blue. He's painted blue with a black bird right here, little small black bird kind of thing. He goes, yeah, obviously my favorite's the honey creeper.
Honey creeper, okay.
She fucking rules. He kind of stops himself and like looks around and then realizes his parents aren't there and then goes, yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
Honey Creeper's the best. Oh yeah.
Obviously, you know way more than I do about this. What do you know about like any of them back there? You know.
What do I know?
Do some of them,
Well,
work amongst each other or repeats?
Well, yeah, there's like the repeats. Typically, the winners from the last ones, right? They get to continue on to glory, right? Like glory, and some of them, especially the ones who lose the last battle, we don't see them out. There's kind of a rotating cast, right? Well, I heard from a rumor, because I'm not able to make it all of them, but I heard a rumor that they've got one of those. They've got one of them. What do they call them? Umbrigan, an Umbrigan here that they got. They said they got him from Der Sharat, right? From Der Sharat, right?
Really?
Which is weird because, like, I don't know of any like Umbrigan who live in they aren't from Sharat. That's like a Zindric thing, right? Like, I don't know. Anyway, That's what the rumor has. But of course, they won't hold a candle to my girl. Yeah.
All right. Well,
But Jai's all right. She's pretty good. This Graz guy, he's kind of all muscle, no brain, right? There's also a Minotaur, but he's not like Amerigo Minotaur. He's more like he's Unpak, Minotaur. Yeah, he's all right. Kind of a
look big, punch stuff.
Look big, punch stuff. That's exactly it, man. That's exactly it. You get it. But I like the ones who are like a little bit of this, right? A little bit of that, right? Yeah, hacha.
Can I lean down and sort of? You mentioned Amerigo. Has he ever fought?
Amerigo? Oh, I wouldn't call what Amerigo does fighting as much as I'd call what he does punishing, right? He only really steps in once, if some of the gladiators kind of forget why they're here, which is for glory and for the crowd, right? And they start to get iffy with management, then Amerigo's had to put some people down pretty fast, yeah. Yeah, kind of helps that he has some built-in weapons right here, right?
Right.
Yeah, his horns, they're real sharp.
Sort of physical referee.
Yeah, plus this guy is the biggest guy I've ever seen. I know Minotaurs are big, right? But he's big. He looks over and you see Amerigo's jacked, right? Just muscles on muscles, right? And it's he's Amerigo, am I right? Plus he's skilled, that's kind of the thing. Is he's got a little bit of the. You know what I mean? Whereas the Honey Creeper, I wonder if the Honey Creeper give him a run for his money, because the Honey Creeper's a little bit more like this, Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. This one time I saw a fight, and it was just it was crazy, because the other guy was and then she was and he's just down, right? He's just down. It's nuts.
So obviously, Honey Creeper.
Yeah, obviously.
And
Honey Creeper! You see it coming through, guy.
But has won a couple. But has she ever been in the final battle tripled up with people?
She's kind of more of a warm up. She's pretty new, I suppose. But I think she's just such a good warm up. Why put her in the fight to the death, right? Because then at that point, you could lose an asset, right? That's a business term, by the way, my man. You can lose an asset there, right? So I think they kind of keep her to get the crowd going. You've been
here enough. How do they get those matches together then?
How do they get those matches together?
Yeah, because like you said, they're gonna lose good assets if they put the
it's a business thing, man. It's a business thing, right? Assets, right? Yeah. Assets, synergy, biometrics, right? Like business. Yeah.
Where do they find them?
Some people came from the crowd, right? They volunteered and then they stuck around for a while now, actually. Let's see. Otherwise, I assume they find volunteers on the streets. Oh.
Okay.
I think the chains are kind of like slavery is illegal, right? You can't do that here, right? I think they have they find people on the street, but they kind of play up the whole we're not Dargonites, right? We don't have slavery here. This is Breland, man, and it's crazy, man. It's nuts. It's good stuff. Yeah. I don't know how to pick them, man. I someday I'm gonna be there, but right now I'm more of a I'm not like this, I'm more of I'm pretty but I think yeah.
Great. Well,
what was your name, by the way? I love how you've painted this.
Thank you. My girlfriend did that.
Oh, nice.
I got a girlfriend. But it's but it's not that serious. Anyway, yeah, she. My name's Tonic.
Todd.
It's my Tonic. My friends call me Tonic with a K. Tonic. Yeah, because I drink tonic. Because I got a thing about I got a gluten allergy, but tonic's pretty safe. So drink a lot of tonic. Yeah.
Hi, Tonic. Well, appreciate it. There's
a gluten tonic, right?
Right.
Yeah, that makes you good. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your help. I just wanted to make sure I knew.
What's your name, bro?
Oh, hey, I'm Blue.
I'm sorry. I know you're me too. But this is cool. Sorry, I don't know Warforged stuff like bro, right?
Yeah, bro. It's just
bro, sounds good.
I appreciate you even acknowledging it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but you gotta respect, man, respect. Yeah, that's cool. What's your name?
Polly Pink.
Polly Pink. Pink and blue, pink and blue, pink and blue.
What kind of a team?
Yeah.
I'm black and blue, but that sounds bad. It sounds like I'm beat up. I'm not beat up.
Hey, as long as you're walking, black and blue's okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I'm prepared. And while you're kind of having this conversation and kind of watching the fight, go ahead and give me a perception check real quick, both of you.
$13.
I think 2.
Okay. And we're going to go ahead now, and we are going to move over to... Hold on. Well, that's impossible. Give me 1 second. I love it. We come to you.
Yeah.
Your footsteps coming to the hall, and as you can look over, you see two figures emerge. One is a pale-skinned humanoid, with kind of whitish gray hair, stooped posture. Clothing is kind of worse for the wear. Facial features are really like unpronounced, like barely a hint of a nose, and like no pronounced lips. It's a changeling. And with this is a stranger figure, a what appears to be like a brain, a large brain with a giant beak coming out of the center of it, and then rather than walking on feet, it floats in the air, but dozens of tentacles seem to sort of just dangle underneath it as it sort of just soundlessly glides along with this changeling man.
Okay.
And as they start to walk, the team goes. They turn the corner and they seem to be the changeling seems to be doing the talking, and he goes, yes, it is good that you are here, but you have to stand so close and are you lost?
One of you two blokes show me where the pisser is.
Oh, you're new to here. They're doing the fighting thing, and here because it's like. And he walks by, and this thing just sort of just follows very close behind. And goes, the pisser. How droll. You mean the bathroom, the lavatory?
That's it.
Give me a performance check, by the way. Let's see how good you're acting when you're drunk.
Seems fair.
I believe in you.
Thanks.
Hey, hello.
I appreciate that, man. We have coins for a reason, I think. Yeah.
They're over in this bowl.
My coins.
Fake out.
Fuck. Okay. 7. It's a 7.
Kind of stops and goes, yeah, pisser, eh? All right. The bathroom.
Yeah.
Shit. And he kind of stops and looks you up and goes,
What, you see something you like?
Double down.
I don't like fools.
Yeah, me neither.
He sort of just kind of cocks an eyebrow at you and sort of goes, the door that I just came out of, up the stairs. It's quite a walk. You have to go across. Once you reach the top, you'll move around to the deli, and the deli has a bathroom.
Cheers.
And he'll walk in. The brain creature sort of just kind of stops and just hovers around you. And the changeling stops and turns around. You can see, by the way, that there's a symbol on his shirt emblazoned with the symbol of Dask.
Oh, okay.
The Eye of Dask. He goes, he doesn't like you either.
Can't please everyone, I guess.
Folks like you come down here all the time, trying to bring some sort of little lady friend or something to see the big fights, and then you go ahead and act all drunk and such, and... I hope the drunk act works well and gets you what you're looking for, but it's distasteful. And he snaps his fingers, and the growl sort of follows, and it's only after he walks through the double doors that he may have just accused you of some impropriety with the lady. Yeah. But you are left alone.
Cool.
In this room.
I guess I will go toward... Well, okay. Once I'm sure that they have left the hallway.
Yeah, they go through the double doors. They
Yeah.
close. They're back in that circular hallway that you just came from.
I'm going to take a quick peek through the door that he did not indicate.
Oh, so you head up to the top. Okay, sounds good. You head up to that door, and you see it's another. The two circular doors right next to each other.
Yeah.
They both seem nondescript.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to open the door, the furthest one away.
Right.
And as you open it, you can see a long hallway. This one is unlit, a long dark hallway. But with your dark vision, you can see that it ends in yet another door. So about 40 feet down, there's another door.
Okay.
This is heading towards the east.
Towards the east. Okay. Taking a close listen, can I hear anything coming from down this hallway?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh my god, today. That's a 5.
You do not.
Okay. Well, just remembering why I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and close this door. Make a note of it, but go back through the door that the changeling and Engrel came out of.
As you open the door, you can see that there's a staircase, spiral staircase leading up.
Okay. I will start ascending the staircase.
And as you look up, you don't see an end in sight. This is a long spiral staircase.
Oh. I guess I'll start climbing the stairs.
You begin to climb. We had the two of you. You are looking in, and you can see these creatures of nothing but eyes in this featureless room. Look around. What are you going to do?
Well, Colton's going to try to dig deep into his knowledge of weird creatures and try to remember if something like this could probably see through his invisibility. Would that be something he could reasonably have knowledge of?
You can certainly try. Go and give me a knowledge of arcana check.
Would love to.
It's not going to be an easy one.
I'm assuming that although my Court of the Outer Realms gives me advantage on checks to recall lore about undead creatures, this doesn't count because this thing was not undead at first.
You can apply it here.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I was trying to not gain resistance.
baby.
All right, 15. Knowledge Arcana. That's just a flat 15.
You're not sure. The creature that this is called a beholder, and they do have each eye apparently has the ability to emit many magics. Unfortunately, there's such a varying list of all the magics that it can perform that it's hard to recall if seeing through invisibility is one of its many talents. Now, what I will tell you is that most creatures who are undead still retain some of their senses and abilities even while dead. Okay. So those, while I won't, but usually in a lesser fashion. So while this thing may not be the threat of a beholder, and even if it can't see through invisibility, those eyes at least probably still function as eyes.
Okay.
And you can tell that, and with its all-around vision, sneaking through this room in a visible form that's not going to be possible.
Yeah, and even if I do, so here's my concern. I might be able to sneak past it since I'm invisible if I keep real quiet, but my concern is when I open that door, he's going to notice, because that room has got nothing in it. It's got eyes all around. You think if I duck in quick enough, I'll be alright?
I think you will.
All right.
We gotta figure out what's going on. Because obviously, whatever's here is important. Why would they have fibers on?
Alright, well, I'll be ready to try and distract this thing if it starts being weird on me.
I would like to take, what is the useless thing I have on me?
Like just a useless object?
Yeah, just a copper coin, and try to distract them, like get their eyes to like go to where a coin is. Like I'm gonna try to remain away, out of sight, and I want to just kind of flick it to where it's looking so he can open the door.
Actually, you're trying to time this.
I'm trying to time this so he can get through without them seeing the door opening and closing.
Okay, sure. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and give you a stealth check, but with her doing this, you're going to have advantage on the stealth check.
Okay.
Okay?
Alright, stealth advantage +2. That one is super cocked. And I can use her coin to reroll 1 die.
Correct.
I'm going to be as safe as I can.
They're almost all mine now.
They are all yours at this point.
Okay. 15.
15. Okay. It works. You manage to get to the door. A coin flips. You see that that the one moves. The one in the middle moves its eyes. Slowly kind of turns away, giving you just enough time to open that door if you wish to.
I do.
All right. You reach the handle, you pull it, and you open it, revealing a long, dark hallway. About 40 feet long. And do you have dark vision?
I unfortunately don't.
Long, dark hallway.
All right. I slip in, shut the door behind me.
You're in pitch black.
It's a hallway. I'm going to try to carefully, slowly feel my way through.
You mean you make your way down the hall in complete darkness. While he does so, Sarah, what are you going to do? You've seen that you saw the door open and close. You know he's gone. What do you do?
Seeing that he's made it in there, and I would wait around to see if he's going to come back out. And once I realize, he's not coming back, I'm going to go back towards I'm going to see if there's any exit other than are we just in a dead hallway with this room.
Turn around. The only exits you have seen are the two that lead into the auditorium,
Right.
leaving the complex altogether, how you got in,
Right.
and this hall. That's
Okay.
all you've seen. It's the only exit you have seen from thus far from up here.
Okay. Then I'm going to go back the way I came if he's not coming back out. So
Well, here's my question. He just went through that door.
I'm going to wait and see if he's going to come back out.
Okay, we'll check back in with you then. All right. We get back to you two. You're in the auditorium. Number of people. Tonic is getting real excited as it seems that Zaya is getting the upper hand back and is starting to fight back. She took some heavy blows. She's covered in bruises from a couple of haymakers that gauze through, but she seems to be given now, kind of getting her bearings back and such. So, but this fight could end at any point. But what are you guys doing?
I think I'm going to start sort of verbally cheering for Jaya, because I don't want it to seem like I want us to blend in a little bit, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time actually rooting for the person I put a bet on, and I kind of, if I can, while I'm doing that, watch Harash and Kavala and see, if they're sort of zoning out, if they're really intently watching, kind of what they're doing.
Give me a perception check.
10.
Okay. They seem to be having kind of a quiet conversation amongst the two. They're sort of watching, but having more of a conversation like this.
Okay.
So,
I am going to watch the fighters a little bit more closely, since we've now found out that some of these are repeats and people that perform on a regular basis. Is this... Yes, they're hitting each other, but is this performative? Are they actually trying to win, or is it a show?
I mean, insight check.
12 plus... It's going to be 19.
This is real. While it's not to the death, and they are using kind of the chains. At one point, they kind of grab the chains, sort of kind of swing them at each other. They are intending to knock each other the heck out, and it does not. The performative aspect that the half ogre, the ogrekin seems to be kind of enjoying this, right? But Jaya does not. And there's a real look of fear in her eyes when things were not going as well for her, and it's still there. This is not performative. That blood kind of trickling out of her mouth is real. Very real.
Okay. I'm going to... I think that I'm going to focus on the fight as it's getting closer to culminating, and especially when it does, and it ends, if it ends during this portion, and see where they go. I actually want to, at this point, focus in on them so that when it ends, how it cleans up at the end.
Okay.
Like, do they both go through the same tunnel? Does it separate? Like, I want to watch the optics
Sure,
of what
and I'll
goes.
tell you, as you kind of move around the bleachers, maybe to get better vantage point, I'll
Yeah.
just let you know, underneath the bleachers, basically underneath where you're sitting, you can see that there is a portcullis and tunnel beyond there, underneath the bleachers leading back in.
Okay.
So, and that seemed to be the only other exit from this room that you could not see from your earlier vantage point.
Gotcha. Do they, with the little bit of view I have now, do they already have the next fighters lined up?
Give me a perception check.
22?
You know what catches your attention, really? As you're moving through, and kind of looking, you don't see any of the next fires. As you kind of look around and maybe see any indication of such, like maybe on board, your attention is drawn to the ceiling for a moment because you see some movement. And looking up there, you see a very strange sight. There is a disembodied spectral eye sort of scanning the crowd.
Shit.
It's hard to notice before, but you notice it now. It's this disembodied spectral eye just sort of focused towards the crowd and just watching. It does not move, but back and forth. As you move, you don't see that it seems to be following anybody in particular. But it does seem to be scanning the room. Regular, repeatable fashion.
I slowly, casually, amongst the audience, make my way back over to Pink. Up in the rafters, there's a monitoring eye that is keeping track of all of this. You might, on your next cheer, get a good view and help me figure out what the fuck we're supposed to do about that. And then he starts to cheer.
Wonderful.
Do you just play applause audio? Or...
It has been about the equivalent of like 7 stories that you just walked up.
Oh god!
And you finally see a little bit of light
Okay.
in this dark,
Oh no.
very unsafe staircase. You finally see a little bit of light up at the top of the staircase.
Uh-huh.
And you find yourself, the staircase terminates at a door with a little bit of light peeking up underneath.
Okay. I guess I will quickly listen at the door. Yeah.
You hear some distant sounds.
Okay. I will try to open it.
The door opens.
Okay.
As you open the door, you can see that there's a alleyway. It's outside. You see the sounds of the city hit you, like in the face. Like just, oh, that's the sound of the city that you hear. You're in an alleyway. Looking down, you can see there's some light peeking through. That's ambient light. That's like, not quite sunlight.
Yeah.
Because sunlight doesn't reach the lower portions of the city.
But lantern light, at least.
But lantern light, or some of the light bouncing off, reflecting, does kind of reach down here.
Okay.
You're in the city. You're in an alleyway,
Mm-hmm.
kind of grungy looking. As you kind of peek through the door and look, you can see that the door itself on the other side, well, it looks just like the wall.
Hmm.
With a little bit of graffiti of an eye on it.
Okay. Taking a quick look around, does it seem like there are any guards watching this door?
There does appear to be a couple of people laying down in the alley, kind of like hidden amongst boxes, and got like tarps or radio blankets over them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but okay.
And then beyond, you can see that the alley opens up into a street.
Yeah, I would like to go at least far enough out to identify like what street this is.
Sure.
On.
As you pass by, with your drunken swagger, one of the homeless looks up to you and you see a kobold kind of peek over and goes, Bathrooms in the deli. And then he kind of goes back underneath and kind of huddles up.
Okay.
As you peek out, you can see that you're out on the street.
Yeah.
The area here seems to be kind of nice. You're not. Why don't you go ahead and give me a culture check?
Yeah.
Let's see if you can tell
Figure
where
out
you
what
are.
district this is. Yeah. It's a 13.
Why, you've been in this district before. In fact, fairly recently. In fact, I think you were here yesterday. You are currently in the Central Plateau. You believe you are in... I want to say... Hold on. Give me 1 second. In Central Plateau. Forgive me. You are in... maybe you weren't in this district. Here, let me say. You see orderly collections of townhomes that ring the towers of a relatively quiet district. You can see children are playing in the streets. You see couples strolling arm in arm. Maybe it's not the same, but it looks very similar to North Towers, where Franklin Winkeep lives. But maybe it's not quite, because that was filled with more boutiques and such. Though amongst the houses, you do see a deli to your right.
Okay.
So with that culture trick, I'll say Mission Gardens.
What gardens?
Mission Gardens? Mission Gardens?
Okay. I will head towards the deli.
As you head to the deli, you see forgive me, the street art that you saw, let me expand on that. When
Yeah.
the door closed, this is what you saw. There's street art along that wall. It was a street art of King Borinal fighting a massive ogre. Set up against a massive mountain range, possibly the Grey Wall Mountains to the west. And you note that the right about where the doorknob was to open the door, is a barely noticeable monster's eye, kind of set in stone there.
Okay, so the doors themselves are basically hidden in this wall, along where this wall art is.
Yes.
Okay.
And the monster's eye seems to be the knob.
The knob. Okay.
There's a deli. You see a nice a woman, kind of a young human woman, is kind of welcoming customers in, and she sees you and she kind of frowns a little bit and she goes, "Bathrooms to the left," and you're able to use the restroom.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. You found an exit.
Sweet.
All right, we're gonna head back to you two. Okay, so you're in this dark hall. You make your way down the dark hall, and you find yourself eventually the hall terminates at a door. Large, stone, circular.
Okay. Well, first thing I'm going to do, kind of see even through the stone doors, I can hear anything through it, any sign of life through it.
So don't try. Give me a perception check.
More than happy to. That's a 10.
You don't.
Ooh, all right. Well, I will, check the knob, see if it turns.
It does.
I will go ahead and slowly kind of open the door.
You open the door and you find yourself entering a lit hallway. You enter from probably the north side of the hallway, although you're coming in from the eastern wall. The hall extends north to south, because really all of it goes down to your left. There's a doorway right next to yours. And at the very far end of the hall, you can see a double door.
Okay, and it's okay. So I came out here, another door here, big door at the end.
So more like you come out here, another door right to your left, and then I'm on the same wall, and then at the very, very far end of the hall, against the south wall, there's a double door.
Terminates the other direction.
Yes. You look back, nothing. You see, you don't see. It's just wall, and then also on the all along the western wall, it's all wall.
Real quick, is it possible for Colton to try and take stock of roughly how long he's been invisible?
It's probably been about 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes? Okay. Gonna quietly and slowly shut the door, go over to the door next to it. Same thing. Press through, see if I hear anything. That's better. 25.
Their footsteps. Tink, tink, tink. They're getting closer. What do you do?
I move away from the door, kind of get up against the wall away from the door.
And the door opens as you back away from it. So next we're going to go ahead and move to Sarah. So Sarah, okay, so you've been waiting and it's been a bit. The door hasn't reopened.
I'm gonna leave.
Okay, where are you gonna head? Where are you gonna head to now?
I'm gonna double back to where we were, since we know what the entrance is and where it goes. Just go back into the arena and then leave out the other door.
Okay, so as you enter the arena, you will say that you kind of come across these two. Okay, so the three of you are. So you have just seen the eye. Oh, my apologies. As you enter, by the way, you enter this room. You see you come in right as the crowd goes nuts as Zaya deals a finishing blow to the ogrekin, and Graz hits the ground with a heavy thud. Tons of people in the crowd are booing. A number of them are cheering, and people are rushing to the kobold with the heavy purse to collect their winnings. Most are not. As you see this, Amerigo steps down and starts to kind of steps down and like grabs Zaya's hand and like raises up in the air like, "Ah!" and the crowd's going wild. Crowd is going nuts.
Her feet fully off the ground when he does that. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm gonna head towards the betting kobold since I placed a bet. As I'm doing that and cheering, can I do like RJ said? And I want to see if I can see the eye.
Once he's pointed out, you see it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were able to see it. It's scanning the room.
I don't know if this looks like any kind of magic I'm familiar with or not.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a knowledge arcana.
I am also rolling dog shit.
What's the number?
8.
8. You're not sure.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You are unsure. Well, I didn't have all the coins. Okay, so you get the kobold. He goes, 1 gold piece, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a 5 gold piece win. You're gonna be putting on a bet for the next.
I'm gonna go confer with my friend and see who he wants.
All right. Well, it's the. I'll let you know. It's gonna be the. What? It's like some sort of bird name.
Oh, the honey creeper?
Yeah, that's the one, honey creeper. Right. I keep on calling her the honeysucker because she's a sucker. Now, honeysucker, and then I'm thinking, I'm not sure who's up against. I don't have a name on my register here, so.
I'll confer with my friends and get back to you.
All right, well, make your bets quick.
All right. It's the honey creeper and somebody that doesn't have a name on there.
I mean, our friend likes a honey creeper, but I'd like to see who the other option is first. That's weird that they don't know who's gonna fight.
Is it like I gotta pull a volunteer?
When you say that, I look back. I kind of glance back up at the eye, and I look at the Minotaur. I hope not.
The Minotaur is currently dragging the unconscious body of Graz back towards the portcullis. You also note that she is now back in the room, kind of making her way through the crowd.
Oh, hey, we just won one. Hey,
Yay!
there's that eye up there watching us be more subtle.
Yay! And as you point out, you see there's this eye, disembodied eye, kind of spectral almost, just sort of moving left to right.
Do I know anything about this eye?
Give me a knowledge of arcana check.
18.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. 19.
In your thieving days, in your less reputable days, you've seen similar things like this in the usually more affluential sites. Those are scrying. Those are you're not sure who's looking through, but somebody's watching remotely.
Oh, that's great to know.
Security function.
So what's your other half, by the way?
Oh, he decided to go and try to find some other areas.
Was that you?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I know.
So what are you about to do? Are you gonna come down and watch with us?
No, I need to actually go to a different direction because I didn't get very far. So I'm going to go try to see what else is going on elsewhere.
Cool. Yeah! Don't get caught.
Yeah.
As you're cheering, Amerigo steps back out from the portcullis and begins to address the crowd. And the next fight, we bring to you the Honey Creeper. And people start cheering, and of course, Tonic is cheering the loudest, right? Yeah! Facing! And the crowd goes kind of quiet. One of you. And he starts to point towards the audience. And as his finger moves across the audience, it falls on you. You. He smiles, a big fang smile, and he says, how do you feel your chances would be against the honey creeper? And people around you, like look at you with like this look of like wide-eyed, oh my gosh, yes, and they also give you about a 2 foot distance from you, so they all like, shoot, move away, oh my god, whoa! And we're gonna go ahead and move to Connor.
Okay.
The door opens, you're standing there quietly, and you see a familiar-looking bugbear walk through the room as Brock steps out of the door.
Oi, Brock! Hey, Red! It's black!
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
All right, so no one else around. So hey, good news. I'm not gonna drop the invisibility. This lasts for an hour. I ain't getting rid of it.
Yeah.
The door right next to you leads to the room with the big undead beholder. This is the back door.
Okay.
Wait, where the fuck did you come from?
There's a big-ass staircase right here.
Yeah?
Leads up to street level. There's an exit up there.
Oh!
In Lower Memphis.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
sorry, Lower Central.
all right, so we found all the good exits. We know where the back door is. We know where the kind of front door is. I look like... I know you can't see me pointing, but I'm pointing down those big double doors over there.
As he points to the big double doors, they open. And a strange figure, walks into the room. You see what appears to be a gnome, but no facial hair, but clown makeup. But real sinister-looking clown makeup. Face painted white, really like dark eyes, and then a big, creepy smile painted on his face. He is garishly dressed, with a hat of numerous little stalks with little bells ringing on it. And his outfit, it's actually black and white. The outfit and the makeup is actually black and white. It's all black and white. Right, and grays, but the costume is much like a Jester's costume, but all in grayscale. Mm-hmm. As he enters the room, it's almost unnerving for a second, because in this brightly colored room, here is a black and white figure, like looking, kind of walking through, just kind of enters the room and sees you, gives a big smile to his yellowed teeth. Yellow, scraggly teeth, so just shining, and he starts to cartwheel your direction. Tilling.
Hey, man.
Stealth check.
Yep. Oh, God. 20. Dirty 20.
And he stops. He stops at your feet, and like pops up in a little flourish. About all 3 feet tall of him, and goes, ha ha!
That's great, man. I'm just here for the fight. So
You seem lost. Would you like a guide? Back to your seat, or perhaps somewhere else? Where do you wish to go, my bugbear friend?
I get a read on what this guy's deal is.
I would like to invisibly do the same, if that's okay.
I mean, inside check.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 22.
14, surprisingly.
Playful.
Oh, okay.
You get a very playful read. There's there's sinisterness in the way he looks, but the way he speaks, it's playful.
Okay. Well, I'd like to go back to my seat at some point, but I don't know. I haven't really been around here too much before. Is there anything cool that you can tell me about?
Oh, I know the entire lair of Kabbalah. I know much. I've seen it all. My eyes see everything. And I would be happy to share it with you. But first you must answer a riddle.
Okay, sure.
Answer a riddle. You're going to answer a riddle. I play this on my fiddle, but all I have is a riddle. Ha! That's not the riddle. That's a rhyme. He actually hucks on the goblet, spits it out at your feet.
Kind of move one of my feet back away from it.
I come with a smile. In slaughter, I rest. I can be contagious, but my medicine is best. What am I? And we're going to go ahead and move over to Sarah.
Okay.
So you're in this room, and you're heading back towards out the south exit.
Yes.
Okay. So as you head through the south exit, you make your way up the stairs. A couple of people pass you as they're all going to the bathroom. In fact, a number of people go to the bathroom, although one of them stops and goes, "Oh, audience member!" And you start to make your way upstairs. You hear some gasping from outside, like perhaps something has just happened. But you cut up the curved stairs, head to the door along with the others, and they all start heading in various some head to the room across the hall, some start heading towards the bathroom, and then two of them start to head towards the circular hallway, start heading kind of down the circle to the right, stop, mention, wait, I can hold it, and they rush back into the room because they don't want to miss it.
Okay.
So one person heads across the hall, opens up and walks in through, and then you're in this kind of circular hall, 30-foot wide, columns, pillars, eyes kind of built up.
I'm going to walk across through the door that they opened up.
Okay. As you head towards the door, head towards that door, you hear some yelling coming from inside, some shouting.
I want to peek inside and see what's going on.
As you go to open the door swings open of its own accord, and as the goblin man who had kind of run inside, holding his crutch, you see he is pushed out the door by a changeling man. You can see behind the changeling man a strange creature of a brain with a beak and tendrils hanging from it. It kind of hangs up behind him. There's a very large chamber behind him, but he is shoving the goblin out, saying, "This is not a bathroom. This is not a bathroom. You are a pisser, as you call it. You can go use the normal one, or pee in a cup. This room is for audiences only, and Kavala is not ready for that." And the goblin goes, "Ah!" And you can see that they've already pissed themselves, clearly, by by this horrifying creature that's kind of floating behind him, and he runs off. And the changeling sort of sees you there and levels his gaze and goes, "The bathroom isn't in here."
The creature that is with him, do I know what that is?
Knowledge Arcana.
Oh, no, I don't. It's 5.
A floating brain with a beak.
Yeah.
And tentacles.
Yeah, okay. You said that's for...
The symbol of Das, by the way, is emblazoned upon the shoulder.
You said that's for audiences with Kavala, right?
During the midpoint of the little fighting expose, there will be a moment where Kavala will address the people in here.
Oh, we all get to come in and see Kavala?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Do we need to bring gifts?
You need to bring gifts? No, you don't need to bring gifts.
Just want to make sure we didn't want to make it angry. So, okay.
Well...
You hiring?
He closes the door in your face.
I love this guy.
New favorite NPC.
So you stand out in the hall alone.
So there's only other option is that circular hallway.
Or you're in the circular hallway.
Then
Right? So you can head to the left or the right. To the left, you see, and turn around, you can see, well, now it's to your right. It kind of ends more abruptly over here, and you can see that there's that kind of a hall leading off kind of in the similar direction of where you came in from, along that same wall. Mm-hmm. There's another hall leading this way. And you can see that the circular portion, the promenade, kind of extends now to your left.
I would actually want to try to go along the promenade to try to get, because you said the promenade is at the top. I want to try to get closer to where the platform is, to where Kavala.
Based on the direction, none of these seem to go that same direction. To circle away from it.
Okay.
It's how to get to Kavala. I'm not sure. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm just imagining.
That you're gonna have to guess.
Yeah, I'm imagining the chief stadium where they all go around.
You're not inside. It's the circle that creates the arena. The circle goes in the opposite. It's like this.
Oh, okay.
You came
Okay.
from here and walked into here.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then, okay. I want to go down the hallway, that offshoot hallway that's similar but going in the opposite direction you said.
Sure. So you begin to head the opposite direction of where Brock had gone before.
Right.
So as you turn, you see the circle ends, but then kind of now you see a straight hall leading off to the east. Running east to west, you can see Okay. You can see that this hall extends out, but it kind of opens up some distance away, probably about 80 feet down. It is lit. This hall is lit. You can see that it opens up way down there, but right somewhere about the midpoint, there's something odd in the floor, like a little raised portion of the floor right in the middle of it.
Okay.
You go up to take a look at that?
Yeah.
Okay. As you walk up to approach it, you can see there's just this large stone like circle, like just right in the middle of this like 20-foot wide hallway, right? There's this big stone circle.
Okay. Is it, and it's raised out of the ground.
Uh-huh.
I want to try to see like if it's a pressure, like if I put slight pressure on
Investigation check.
Okay. 17 plus 2, 19 plus 3. No, wait, so, sorry. 19 plus 2, 21 plus 3.
So as you look around with a high number, you see that there are like, there's kind of around it, there's a couple of like in the walls of it, right? In the walls of it, there's like some like depressions in there, right? And looking at it, you kind of take your hands and like you kind of press down, nothing, it doesn't seem to go that direction, right? And as you kind of look at these handles, you kind of stick your hands out, maybe kind of take a look at them, and you realize that those are handholds. Those are handholds. This isn't meant to be pressed. This is meant to be lifted by someone much larger than you. This is like a plug.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any indication of what's in it? Like, is this hallway? Are there people coming down the hall?
Not at this point in time.
I want to try.
But you can see, you can hear some sounds coming from the other end of the hall, the direction you were heading, where it sort of opens up into some larger chamber. You can see light flickering, and you can hear sounds of people in that direction.
Okay. I want to figure out more about this plug, but I want to go down and see what's going on, where if the people are distracted or if they're moving towards me. So I want to move down to where the.
Give me a stealth check. Let's see how quietly you can move.
Nat 1. I don't have any coins. Oh wait, no, there is a coin. That's way better.
That's better.
17 plus 3, 20.
You step up and approach quietly. As you get to just the edge, you kind of peek inside this much larger room. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And inside, you see a number of figures moving about. But these figures are like none that you have seen before. At least not around here. The room itself is a great hall. It runs north to south. There are a number of exits from this room, other than the one. You're on the far southern end of this room. You can see a number of exits leading out from here. It's a kind of a great hall with a number of chambers extending off from it. You see that in this lit room, you can see... Give me a perception check, actually, real quick. I want to see what all you do see and what all you don't.
18, 20.
You see, first of all, you see one of those floating eyes. Corner, sort of watching this room.
In the corner, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Upper corner. See that, but you managed to keep yourself from getting out into the open. The floor of this room is littered with bones and covered in a thin layer of what appears to be translucent slime. Walking through this room, you see a total of 7 figures. You see they are gathered in front of a iron portcullis. On the so like you're on the south end, you're coming in from the southwest corner. On the southeast corner, just across, you see 7 figures assembled in front of a portcullis. These figures, they all share an ancestry. You can tell with their large catfish-like heads and their big bulbous eyes and their big wide mouths. You recognize Kuatoa. Shining, and you see that most of them seem to be wielding shields and kind of spears, whereas the 7th, it has a kind of a large headdress made of like a fish skull, so reaching up towards the sky, and they wield a staff ending in 2 tines, right? Like 2 like curved tines, and like it looks like a pincer claw.
Okay.
And they stand at attention in front of this portcullis. Now the rest of the hall, while it's covered in the slime and bones, seems relatively empty, although there are a number of other exits leading from here.
Okay. And again,
they have not seemed to notice your presence.
I'm gonna make note. From where I am I able to see into the portcullis? Is it like dark?
Nope. It's off into an angle you are not able to see, and there's a number of guards kind of blocking you. You can just barely see that there's a portcullis there.
Okay.
As you debate your decisions, I will move back to the 2 of you.
Okay.
Well, what am I?
Let's see. Come with a smile. Best medicine. Laughter. It's laughter.
Oh, he goes. You.
Yes.
You got it. It is laughter. Ooh, that would have been bad hadn't you answered that correctly.
Why was that?
Who cares? You did it!
Right, yeah.
So, all right, my friend. What would you like to know? Would you like to perhaps know of where the actual staff bathrooms are? Perhaps you'd like to know, and he kind of throws himself up against the wall, where the secret doors are. And he knocks, and you hear like a hollow thud against the western wall.
Okay.
Perhaps you'd like to know, where does our great leader rest her head? Maybe you get a peek at the bed.
Saucy.
What do you want? What do you need? Where are you going? Buddy.
Do I get the sense that that this guy is like, I don't know, trying to goad me into like revealing something here?
Give an insight. Give you an insight check, sure.
Okay.
This is insight, sensing motives.
Cool. I'm really bad at insight. That's a 13.
Playful.
Okay.
He seems to find this fun.
Okay. Is there a way to get out into Kaiba's Gate from here somewhere?
Yeah, the back entrance. Well, they call that the main entrance because most of the people who come in for their little fighty fights. Oh, that always hurts. I always hit myself so hard. Kiss.
Maybe later.
Good. I don't actually want you to do that. Might ruin the makeup. Anyway, there's another exit out through the auditorium that leads out, the hall that leads over to the big magma. Right.
Yeah.
And then if you just continue on up the stairs, you're in Kaiba's Gate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Of course, the main entrance used to be, back when this place was something a little bit different, was through that door right there. It's also where the bathroom is. Well,
Okay, good to know.
the main bathroom. The bathroom they make the other people use. It's in a deli.
All right. Do I gotta answer another riddle to get more directions?
I would tell you if there was another riddle.
Yeah, I guess you would, wouldn't you?
I would.
Okay.
What do you want to know? Where can I take you? I'm bored.
Yeah, all right. I'll admit I'm a little bit curious about what kind of sleeping arrangements the boss of this kind of operation has.
What kind of sleeping arrangements? Plus, you have to see the fish.
Ooh, there's a fish.
Oh, there's a fish. There's a fish.
Well, now I got it.
Now you got it. Kind of looks back towards the circular doors and goes, easiest way would be through the audience chamber, but I think Nar is in there. Nar is so droll. Nar's a little pale skin. Oh, I suppose I'm a bit pale too, but pale skin and no nose.
Oh, walks around with like a brain thing.
Yeah, has the ability to change his appearance, but typically tends to just stick as Nar. Nar's relatively newer to the group, but he's kind of a... It's like, ugh.
Seems like kind of a buzzkill.
He's a total buzzkill. That's why he has the growl on him. So, we'll go this way. And he knocks like, on the wall. And you see a stone enter, and then a door opens, and he goes, through this way, my friend. And he cartwheels through the secret door that he's just opened.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And,
Yeah, I will try to quietly follow behind if I can.
sounds good. Amerigo stands pointing at you. How about you? Do you wish to take on the Honey Creeper?
As honorable as an offer, that is. The above decommissioned me and stripped me of all my talents before they sent me on after using me so badly up there. So...
See his face sort of like turning to around. The crowd is starting to boo a bit. Boo.
However, her biggest fan slaps his new young friend would love a chance to take her on.
Give a persuasion check. This is to see if the boys could go along with it, or did you absolutely misread that?
Is he from a place other than Breland? Or originates from a place other than Breland?
His accent was Sharn.
Dang it.
Yeah.
That's a 9. 10?
Yeah, that's good enough. You don't need to get high numbers all the time.
Yeah.
I like the fact that some of you probably rolled 15s tonight and was like, these are my coins now.
No.
And he goes this one isn't to the death, right? And Eric goes, it shouldn't be. And the crowd goes nuts, and they accept that answer. And the boy, Amerigo will go, fine, come here, young one. Time to learn something. Time to learn something. And he takes it and hops it down as he says, as he's talking, he's kind of looking at you, and he says, after all, why not send a boy to do man's work? And he turns back and starts leading him out into the center of the arena. And then you can hear the sound of the entering. And America goes, and now we have, what was your name? Can I whisper? Tonic with a K! And the crowd goes, Tonic with a K! And we have, he starts to gesture, and the kobold comes up and goes, are you going to place money on? You going to go with a tonic with a K? Or are you going to go with the Honey Creeper?
How about tonic with a K
Ooh.
for 1 gold? Somebody's got to bet on the poor kid.
Yeah, absolutely nobody is. You take your 1 gold, and as you look back, you see a figure entering the arena. It's a woman, lithe. You can tell by her slightly pointed ears that she must be a potentially maybe a little bit of elven ancestry, a little bit in there. But primarily, your attention is drawn to the black leathers she wears. You can see that emblazoned upon her back is a symbol, red and black, etched into the leather of the coat that she wears, of a of a fearsome looking dragon, but in thin, wild lines. This is a symbol you two recognize. This is a dragon mark, but aberrant. And you see that this woman turns to the crowd, and she has a dark eyeshadow surrounding her piercing blue eyes. And no, she's definitely elven now that she turns to just a crowd, and she's got dark eyeshadow surrounding her eyes, and you can see that she has empty scabbards at her side, and the long shock of blue that goes through her black hair. She flips through an eye, and you recognize this woman. You recognize the face of the woman responsible for the death of your guys' captain. And we're going to go ahead and end the session right there.
Oh! Who's in the mood for revenge?
Not you guys.
No!
Tonic is going to take his revenge. Tonic with a K.
That man is going to die.
Wonderful. All right, and that is the end of this week's session. Woo! As the blue-haired woman, otherwise known as the Honey Creeper, enters the stage.
Oh, she's a creep, all right. I'll tell you what.
All right, well, wonderful. Okay, well, let's go ahead and let's wrap about this session. So, I'm gonna get to you last. How are you feeling about the events of the session? You've met a little known jester.
Yeah, kind of not really sure what to make of this guy.
Yeah, right.
Little weird, but he doesn't seem actively hostile to us. So
no, he does not.
He is offering to show us around the our enemy's base. So,
despite your rudeness.
Us?
Yeah.
Never asked him his name.
You.
I know.
All right, you found a lot of information.
We did
too.
We did. Found another entrance, or more likely exit. Yeah.
You have confirmed a loop.
I have.
You have. So you've confirmed a loop. That's good. How are you feeling about tonight's?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I felt like I did something, but Colton spent most of the night, John Cena, you can't see me. The weird little mime clown jester personally creeps Connor out. Colton's probably just like, what is wrong with this freak? But excited to see Kavala's bedroom? Question mark?
Very odd, right? What an odd situation.
I feel like this man is leading us in to eat us or something.
Yeah, probably.
He made a comment. Connor's gonna keep that to himself.
No, what?
Yeah, what?
He made a comment that he sees everything.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got to be controlling those scrying eyes.
Yeah, it's true.
So it was a very specific comment to make.
Mm-hmm. Now I will point out there's a lot of eye motif and talk.
Yeah,
It's true. This is the monster's eye. The eye.
But but that does bring up a good point. Somebody has to be watching on the other end.
It's like there's a motif.
It's like there's a motif. Strange motif to have in a place where Dask only relatively recently moved in.
Yeah.
Well, he did say what it was before.
Ooh, what did that mean? James, how's your character feeling about the events of tonight?
He probably just sent a boy to his death.
Yeah.
To cover the mission. So, I mean, collateral damage. He's a military man.
He's one of us!
He's a military man through and through. He always has been, as far as that goes.
Plus, I'm not mistaken, people who volunteer tend to stay volunteered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's okay. We'll see where this goes. I love it. I love it so much. How are you feeling about this situation? You found something weird.
Yeah, I want to know what's in the plug, and I want to know what's behind the portcullis.
Yes.
The catfish men.
Yeah, why are you... Kuato, you can't escape them in my campaigns, guys.
No.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Will's favorite monster, not Kuato's, but they're fucking everywhere anyway.
Well, also, they're gathered around the portcullis. It's not like they're spread out among the room.
No.
It is...
They are clearly guarding wherever that leads.
Yes.
Yeah. Bloop the blade. Anyway,
I want to see a cool fish.
so
We're gonna come out the other door.
how are you feeling about today's about the events
Well,
of tonight?
Adelaide was already on edge at RJ sending a teenage boy to at least potentially severe danger.
There's
But
a lot of ways that could have gone. Sending a teenager was not what I expected.
it was not what I expected. But seeing that Honey Creeper is the blue-haired woman
The blue-haired woman.
Yeah,
Who was responsible for the death of
of Valance.
Valance. your
And
guys'
knows our faces.
And knows your faces, yeah.
I don't think we had ever established that, but I guess that's
Oh,
the case
she,
now.
that was what I put at the very beginning of the session.
Yeah.
Is that she knew
You guys
all
were
of our
there.
faces.
You know her. She knows you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, currently we're all in disguise, but
And doesn't know me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't know who you are.
What a situation.
I also don't know her.
yeah, that like Adelaide like immediately went rigid on seeing her, and like the heartbeat is just out of control. Like I think trying to keep herself like she in this instant is having to try and keep herself composed because the shock, the anger, the fear, like all of the memories of that night flooding back is like overwhelming in an instant.
Plus the revelation, I would say. I'm curious on how you feel about the revelation of her allegiance, apparently, because that was a symbol of House Tarkanan on the back on
Right.
her back. Yeah.
That she has House Tarkanan and is fighting in a Dask pit.
Remind me, House Tarkanan, which house were they?
They
Aberrant.
are
They're the
Aberrant
they're the counter house, the house that
counter
does
house.
not officially exist, a Aberrant Dragon
That's
March,
right.
which is currently divided into two factions. We have
factions.
learned. There's the older ones who have been established for a while and have stayed quiet, and there's the new faction, which is quite loud.
With the assumption
violent.
of her having that symbol, meaning the assumption would lead that she has an aberrant mark, and as awful as it is, like with Dee Dee's case and everything, like I think there is that ingrained knowledge that she's been brought up to believe, like aberrant marks destroy, and this woman destroyed.
There you go. I love it. Well, that is the end of tonight's session. So those of you at home, primarily John and Grant, hey guys. And the others who watch,
Also,
thank
hi,
you
Dev.
for watching.
Hi.
Say what?
I said, hi, Dev. I know you
Dev.
watched too.
Hey Mark, I think you watched some of these too. What's up, buddy? Actually, to all of you, hey, if you watch the show, comment. Give us a comment. Let us know. Let us know that you've been watching. I love to hear it.
Yeah, if you comment, we'll call your name out.
Yeah,
What?
maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, either way, thank you so much for being here for Basements and Besties, the Dark Lanterns of Sharn. This has been a wonderful session, and looking forward to being back next time when we continue the dive into the Dask Stronghold. Otherwise, just so you know, we do have a Patreon where you can watch our episodes 2 weeks early before they are released to the general public. Also, I put on some cool stuff on there, and the funds from Patreon really help us out and get us cool things potentially. So, hey, we have one. The link will be in the thing. Either way, thank you for being here, and we will see you next time.
Basement.